Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IWN YouTube channel. I am IWN, and I got a little bit of WWE and AEW Sunday midnight news for you. It is still Sunday, October the 2nd, 2022. Before I even get started going over the news, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on the stream. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream minimum. Let me know your thoughts on the background. Let me know how good I did. Did I do a good job? Did I do a bad job? Did I do terrible or what? But subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are on the road to 500. And on my second channel, I'm on the road to 100. I have officially uploaded my first YouTube intro on my second channel, and also have officially uploaded my actual very first outro on my second channel as well. So be sure you subscribe to my second channel. I really appreciate it. Not only show your support for my second channel, but show your support for this channel as well. And again, get the likes. Let's hit that like button. Let's get the thumbs up. Let's get at least, I'd say let's get at least 6 or 7 likes minimum on the stream, since we currently have 443 subscribers right now. Turn on that bell for all notifications, guys, so you don't never miss a single watch-along review or a single WWE AEW news live stream that goes live each and every single week here on the IWN YouTube channel. You know I always go live with these live streams for a reason, to keep you up to date with the WWE and AEW news that's currently floating around in the world of professional wrestling. Follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. You can always add me on Snapchat. That's where I share my content. Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook are all social media platforms. They are where I legitimately share my reviews and watch-alongs and YouTube content that I have here on the channel. The links to all my accounts are in the description below, folks. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. We're going to go ahead and get to it. I told you this was going to be a pretty quick show, and I wasn't lying. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start with the news on the WWE SmackDown viewership. You know, SmackDown last week was a solid show, but I kind of had that feeling that the viewership was going to see an all-time low, and that's exactly what the SmackDown viewership got last week. So, SmackDown viewership dropped very slightly last week. So it says here that WWE brought a packed episode of SmackDown this week. Now, if you guys forgot what went down, you can always go on my YouTube channel and check out my SmackDown and WWE or SmackDown page review. That's what I'm trying to say. But in case you forgot what went down on SmackDown last week, go check out my WWE SmackDown AEW Rampage September the 30th, 2022 review. It is still on the channel. If you guys missed it, haven't checked it out, go give it a look. Give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Now, you guys ready to find out how the SmackDown viewership turned out last week? Okay, so according to Spoiler TV, the September the 30th episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.385 billion viewers with a 0.50 in the 1849 demographic. Now, September the 23rd episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.385 million viewers with a 0.55 in the 18 to 49 demographics. Same as last week. I'm sure you all are noticing that. The same numbers. Both September the 23rd and September the 30th noticed that they legitimately got the same viewer numbers, man. Legitimately the same. September the 16th episode of WWE SmackDown brought an overnight average of 2.086 million viewers with a 0.45 in the 1849 demographic. September 9th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.217 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. The second edition of SmackDown drew an overnight average of 1.952 viewers with a 0.4 in the 1849 demographic. This was a pre-taped episode prior to WWE Clash of the Castles, which I was live for. I was live with the WWE Clash of the Castles watch-along. That was one of the best Clash of the Castle pay-per-views we've ever gotten, coming from WWE. August the 26th episode of WWE SmackDown scored 2.392 million viewers with a 0.5 in 1849 demographics. Friday Night SmackDown was pre-taped in Charlotte, Portland, New Orleans, and Las Vegas for preseason NFL games. They saw a big boost because of that. When the final viewership came in from Show Buzz Daily, after the NFL preempting was taken out of the equation, SmackDown's viewership was 1.990 million viewers. That is quite a drop from the 2.292 they actually previously charted. So the August 19th edition of Friday Night SmackDown raked in, whoa! Oh my goodness. That's a big, huge number. That is a huge freaking number, dude. They brought in 2,084,000 legitimately. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding you guys. They legitimately brought in 2,084,000 viewers. Jeez Louise, that's a lot. No shit. They also captured a 0.47 in the 18 to 49 demographics. August 12th episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight audience of 2.431 million viewers with a 0.45 in 1849 demographic. The August 5th episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 1.983 million viewers with a 0.5 in the treasured 1849 demographic. The July 9th episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.06 million viewers with a 0.4 in the 18 to 49 demographics. July the 2nd episode of SmackDown brought in 2.166 million viewers with a 0.55 in 1849 demographic. July the 15th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 1.976 billion viewers with a 0.4 in the 1849 demographic. July the 8th episode edition of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.0245 billion viewers with a 0.4 in the 1849 demographic. Now, listen for this one. This is a high one here. This is a high number here, man. So, apparently, you ain't gonna believe this. Apparently, SmackDown, July the 1st episode of SmackDown brought in a viewership of, it's gonna shock some of you, 2,142,000 viewers. Oh my goodness. Dude, I am blown. I am blown by what I'm seeing here. Well, what I'm hearing, I'm blown. So they legitimately brought in 2,142,000 viewers with a 0.5 in the 1849 demographic. That right there is enough to tell you that that was a really, really good episode of SmackDown. That number should tell you right there. June 24th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.117 million viewers with a 0.5 in 1849 demographic. The June 17th episode of SmackDown brought an overnight average of 2.2 1.74 million viewers with a 0.55 in 18 to 49 demographic. June 10th episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 1.8025 viewers and a 0.40 in the 1849 demographic. Now, June the 3rd's episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 1.8465 million viewers with a 0.4 in the 1849 demographic. So I guess we'll have to see if they can pull the ranks up a little bit. Yeah, SmackDown wasn't all that good last week, but the only best match on that show was Bayley versus Shotzi Blackheart. That was it. That was pretty much it right there. So I think that explains why that's one reason why the viewership went down. There weren't enough matches produced. Some of the shit on SmackDown was just complete garbage. I'm sorry. On SmackDown. Let me know in the live chat. I really appreciate it. We're going to move on to the next news. Next is on the Survivor Series 20 after War Games. And it will be absolutely amazing. It's going to be one of the greatest that we have in a long years, but this year it's special because and there are two added to the list of matches at the show. So the brand versus brand supremacy will see various matches, and we may see some unexpected outcomes. Now, while there's no update on what the matches would be for the show, the ticket sales information is in. WrestleTix noted on Patreon that the show has sold 12,805 tickets with a 150 left. So they pretty much have 150 left, and the Survivor Series event happens on November the 26th from the TD Garden in Boston. I'm guessing Boston, Massachusetts. That's what I'm guessing. Or maybe Boston, or not Boston, Miami. It has to be Massachusetts. It has to be. I don't even think I'm saying it right, but. So the available tickets are 150. The current setup capacity is 12,955, and the tickets distributed is 12,805. So WWE did do a mystery match at a WWE live event where Roman Reigns faced AJ Styles. Some are of the opinion that the match will be the highlight of the Survivor Series, but nothing can be confirmed as of this writing. Triple H is changing the landscape. He's changed the landscape of the business. His approach will have a wonderful effect on the overall performance of the event and the superstars at the show. Good. Good. It should. What do you guys think of Survivor Series War Games matches? Let me know in the live chats or in the comments below when the stream ends. Folks, this is my match booking prediction for the 5-on-5 men's and women's Survivor Series tag team match. So for the men, I think it's going to be Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, Jay, and Jimmy Uso versus Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and either Shinsuke Nakamura or Pete Dunne. Then for the women's side, It's obviously gonna be Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi Blackheart, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and I'd say Toxic Attractions, JC Jane, and Gigi Darling. Or it could be the returns of Sasha Banks and Naomi, which I think will be the returns of Sasha Banks and Naomi. So that's what I think, guys. That's my match booking predictions when it comes to a Survivor Series women's 5-on-5 match, Raw vs. SmackDown, and men's 5-on-5 match, Raw vs. SmackDown. So I mentioned this a few days ago on one of my live streams, if you guys remember. I gave you guys what I think, what matches I think will be booked so far. I think those are the only two matches that will be booked so far for Survivor Series. As far as I know, I don't know if there will be any other matches booked for Survivor Series, and we'll see going into November, which will be next month. Now, there's some news on a call for India to have access to official WWE merchandise. Triple H actually responded. He actually responded to the Indian fans. And speaking of that, there's some news on Triple H responding to the Indian fans pleading for WWE merchandise. So there's some news on that. But first, we're going to go over news on Sami Zayn. So apparently, Sami Zayn reportedly shuts down rumors of beef with Jey Uso. As you all know, the tension between Sami Zayn and Jey Uso continues, going into Extreme Rules. I don't think the Bloodline is ready to turn on Sami Zayn yet. I think the only time they'll be ready to turn on Sami Zayn is probably right after Survivor Series. I think right after Survivor Series would be the right time to turn on Sami Zayn. Then that'll start. Then I'll have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back together, and that'll give us the storyline of the team of Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the Usos. Then they can have that match booked for WrestleMania 39. I think WrestleMania. I think that's the WrestleMania number 39. But I think that's going to be a good match. Usos defending their undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Can you guys imagine how great that tag team match would be? Oh my goodness. Seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both as baby faces as a team together, beautiful thing to see, man. That'd be a great thing to see. You love to see it, man, for real. But anyways, it says here that Sami Zayn has worked in WWE for well over 8 years now, and has been part of several important moments in the company's history. He went from being a beloved underdog babyface to an insufferable conspiracy theorist, and fans enjoy both his gimmicks. Now, the Bloodline has become the most dominant faction in the entire company for a long time now. Sami Zayn is now on a mission to be a part of the Bloodline as well. He is now considered an honorary Uso by the faction. Jey Uso was not too happy. He was not too pleased about that. Jey told Sami he didn't trust him on SmackDown, to which Zayn had an inept reply. Zayn took to Twitter and made it clear that there is no divide between him and Jey Uso. So this is what Sami Zayn said. He said, and I quote, "Take this down. It may be a bit messy at times, but we are united. Stop trying to create a divide." Sami Zayn's angle with the Bloodline has earned him tremendous praise from fans and peers alike. Rightfully so. Sami Zayn has one of the best gimmicks in all WWE right now, man. The guy is on the road. He is killing it. He's great at what he does in the ring. He's great with his entrance. He's great with his promos. And he's great with his character gimmick, most importantly, which I just mentioned. I mean, how can anybody not like Sami Zayn? If you don't like Sami Zayn, if you legitimately are not a fan of Sami Zayn, then you got to be a complete idiot. Sami Zayn, to me, is the greatest of all time. Let's be honest. In my honest opinion. Same with Seth Rollins. Same with Kevin Owens. Same with Sasha Banks. Most importantly, the same with the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Now, Shane Helms, a.k.a. the Hurricane. He used to have that Hurricane character gimmick, remember? It's the Hurricane coming through. Boom. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways. So, Shane Helms thinks that Sami Zayn is the top performer on SmackDown as well. We'll have to wait to see what's next in store for Sami Zayn. What is everybody's take on this story, man? What do you guys think is going to happen to Sami Zayn after Extreme Rules? Does he stay with the Bloodline, or does the Bloodline turn on him after Extreme Rules? I think the Bloodline is going to turn on him after Survivor Series, in my honest opinion. I think that's the right time to do it, to be honest. I mean, we are well on our way to the end of the year. I don't think it would make sense for them to do it after Extreme Rules. That would be one of the worst creative decisions ever. I think the right decision is to have the Bloodline turn on him after Survivor Series. Legitimately. Have the Bloodline turn on him either after the Survivor Series match or after Survivor Series going into SmackDown. I'd say have the Bloodline turn on him on SmackDown. After the SmackDown after Survivor Series. Have them turn on Sami Zayn after that. Will you guys agree with me? Let me know if you agree with what I said. I said have the Bloodline turn on Sami Zayn on the SmackDown after Survivor Series. I think that's the way to do it there. That sets up the storyline between the team of KO, Sami Zayn, and the Usos from the Bloodline. It's going to be great. This is going to be one of the best talked about tag team storylines in all of professional wrestling, man. You got four of the greatest tag teams in professional wrestling, man. We all know that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were a tag team before in the past. They were. Legitimately. And they work so well together. They have great tag team chemistry together. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn does. I would not be surprised if they were added to the Monday Night Raw tag team division. You have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens teaming up together. You have Alpha Academy, Street Profits, Viking Raiders, Indus Shear, and the Creed Brothers. That's a solid tag team right there. Tag team division. That is legitimately a solid tag team division right there. And then over on SmackDown, you got the Brawling Brutes, Imperium, Hit Row, the New Day. You got the New Day, the Brawling Brutes, Imperium, and Hit Row. And you got Los Lotharios and the Maximum Male Models. Man, if you add Authors of Pain to that SmackDown tag team division, man, you have a solid tag team division right there, man. I would love next year's Survivor Series. I would love to see the SmackDown tag team go against the Raw tag team. That would be great. That would be absolutely awesome. That way we could see a stare down between the Viking Raiders and Authors of Pain, and maybe stare down between Authors of Pain and Indus Shear, man. That would be one of the most talked about stare downs in WWE right there, man. And then you got Top Dollar in there. You got all 7 big men in the ring at the same time, dude. That would be crazy. That'd be devastating. That would be absolutely crazy, man. You got to have some kind of solid tag team division. Right? I mean, just saying. But I think the Bloodline turning on Sami Zayn on the SmackDown after Survivor Series is the right creative decision, the right move. And the right direction going forward in the company. So anyways, there's some news on Triple H. We're going to go over that now. So, those of you that don't know Triple H, those of you that do know Triple H, honestly, he has been the best head of talent relations and creative ever. Though they changed its creative division on July the 25th this year when Triple H took charge. He gives time to talent, storylines, and even the members of the WWE universe. Oh, he cares about a lot more than all that. Believe me. So, we at Ringside News, says my sources. That's what Ringside News said. So, my sources at Ringside News, they recently reported that Indian fans contacted them as they have no place to find authentic WWE merchandise in India. Oh, man. How in the world can Indian people contact Ringside News? How were they able to contact them? On Twitter, probably. No telling. You guys are some freaking comedians, man. This is a freaking funny story. You guys are something else. Straight up hilarious. They started the search for merch hashtag on Twitter, and it caught Hunter's attention. So apparently Triple H never lets anyone down. And so the cerebral assassin took matters into his own hands and responded to the Indian fans with a special message. This is what Triple H said. And I quote, "We hear you. Hashtag search for merch. Hashtag IWF." And quote, that's what it says. That's all it said. This tweet from the 14-time world champion brought smiles to the faces of fans. So the fans who were looking for a response from the WWE were awestruck after actually receiving the response from the WWE creative head. So WWE doesn't have a direct merchandise store in India. It leads to fans either using road material or no merchandise at all. Company looks at India as one of their biggest markets. So Hunter's focus is legitimate and worth. What do you guys think of Triple H's tweet? Triple H's tweet, "We hear you." I think it speaks more words than it speaks volumes. I mean, or maybe more volumes than speaks words. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the live chat. Oh, and by the way, you're going to be shocked when I say this. There is some shocking news on Ricky Steamboat, set to team with FTR in a returning match. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't understand. I really don't understand why AEW needs Steamboat wrestling. I mean, look at the current age he is in. Why are they using Ricky Steamboat for this big time wrestling Return of the Dragons promotion? I don't get it. You mean to tell me Ricky Steamboat still knows how to wrestle? And he's like in his freaking mid-50s or 60s? Like he may be even in his 70s for all I know. Shoot. So apparently Ricky Steamboat is set to team up with FTR in a returning match. I don't know why. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler have competed all over the world in numerous companies. I'm glad it's not going to happen in AEW. Thank God. Woo! Man, if Ricky Steamboat was wrestling in AEW, I think the viewership would probably drop faster than a freaking cheetah can run, faster than you can blink. We don't need Ricky Steamboat in an AEW match on AEW Dynamite Rampage or any AEW pay-per-view for that matter. If anything, he needs to stay retired, man. He don't need to be wrestling. He needs to stay retired like Jake the Snake and Bret Hitman Hart. Look at Bret Hitman Hart. Look at Bret the Hitman Hart, man. You don't see him wrestling. You don't see him trying to legitimately hurt his body and make himself look worse. Meanwhile, you got old guys out here like Goldberg looking for more money, looking to compete in more matches just because he's all about the money and not all about the company first, you know. It's crazy. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler have competed all over the world at numerous companies, further improving themselves. They are not, I'm just joking. They are the Ring of Honor, IWGP, and AA Tag Team Champions. Man, how are they able to hold? My question is, how are they able to hold all those belts, man? How? Are they that strong? Are they that hell of a tag team? I'd say they are. They are 100% one of the greatest tag teams of all time. These guys can get it done in the ring and outside the ring. But they are the Ring of Honor, IWGP, and AA Tag Team Champions and proudly represent themselves as such. FTR has competed against the best of the best in the pro wrestling world. They also adhere to the old school fundamentals of tag team wrestling as well. They continue to be fan favorites as well. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat will be returning to the ring at a big-time wrestling show on November the 7th at Raleigh, North Carolina's Dorton Arena. Why, I don't know. The age that Ricky Steamboat is in, he should not be wrestling. He should be staying retired. I don't know why that show needs somebody like Ricky Steamboat. I mean, give me a fucking break. Seriously. I mean, I know Ricky Steamboat is one of the all-time greats from the Attitude Era, but look how old he is, man. He shouldn't even be wrestling. What is he doing? What is he doing? I don't get it. What in the world is he doing? Teaming with FTR against Jay Lethal and Brock Anderson, the mystery partner. I mean, I know it ain't that serious, but I'm just telling it like I see it, man. Like, really. I'm speaking truth. He should be on his couch, relaxing, resting. He should not be wrestling in other wrestling shows in his current age. That's not good. That is not good. Ric Flair needs to stay retired, too. There was news last month of Ric Flair wanting more matches. Oh, no. No. Guys like that needs to stay absolutely retired. Same with Paul Wright. Same with Mark Henry. We don't need to see the Attitude Era guys back wrestling again. Sting, yeah. Sting, he still got it. He doesn't even look old at all. He still got it. But, yeah, everybody else from the Attitude Era, nah. Stay retired. Oh, The Rock still got it. The Rock can still wrestle. Stone Cold can still somewhat wrestle. Goldberg, nah. Get him out. Nah. I guess we'll have to see how the match will turn out to be. What is y'all's take on this update, man? I think y'all would say the same things that I just said not too long ago. Ricky Steamboat is too old to be wrestling. Get him out. Get him off the show. He needs to be at home resting, taking care of his family, and taking care of his health and his body. He doesn't need to be out here wrestling and getting an injury and then taking steroids. No. Every wrestler in the company has taken steroids, legitimately, for real. We don't need to see that again. So there's some news on Randy Orton. Bad news on Randy Orton and WWE. Well, apparently the jury actually ruled against WWE and the Randy Orton tattoo lawsuit, and that does not sit well with Randy Orton or WWE or the WWE superstars that wear tattoos on their arms and their legs and their butt cheeks and their freaking backs and wherever they wore their tattoos at. Randy Orton took a hiatus from WWE to nurse his back injuries. And by the way, there is Ringside News recently reported that there was major concern over Randy Orton's back injury. Orton's tattoos are the subject of an ongoing trial as well. The verdict was announced, and it wasn't in favor of the defenses, including WWE. Now, according to PW Insider, the jury in the Randy Orton tattoo lawsuit trial ruled in favor of Catherine Alexander, a tattoo artist who had extensively worked on Orton's tattoo design. It says here, and I quote, the jury in the trial for the lawsuit tattoo artist Catherine Alexander brought against World Wrestling Entertainment Take-Two Interactive Software 2K Games Inc., 2K Sports Inc., Visual Concepts Entertainment, Yoix CO Ltd. And Yoix CA Inc. before the U.S. District Court, Southern District of Illinois, officially ruled in favor of Alexander earlier today. It took the jury all 3 hours and 26 minutes to come to their decision. What is not yet known is the level of damages the defenses will be required to pay, nor whether the defenses will attempt to appeal the decision. And I quote. So that is all what PW Insider said. Sounds to me like WWE and A&E are working on a Randy Orton documentary as well. Yes, I actually gave you guys the news on that yesterday. So if you guys can go check out yesterday's WWE and AEW night news live stream, I would really appreciate it. Go give it a thumbs up. And continue to show your overwhelming support, which I am still getting, which I really appreciate so much. You all don't know how much your support means to me during these hard times, especially the fact that my dog passed away yesterday. Oh, and speaking of my dog, her cause of death was a stroke. Yeah, I know, a stroke. And I was there when I was there when it happened. I was here when it happened. Never forget that day that my mom came in the door crying, telling me that my dog passed away. It was sad. I almost cried when I heard that. Intimately. But I knew her days were coming up. I knew her time was up. You know, dogs have a limit of age. Dogs can only live until they are 15 years old. I don't know if you guys know that, but now you know. She was 14. Now, if she would have been 15 next year, yeah, she would have been deceased. She would have been gone. But she died at the age of 14, which I originally thought she died at the age of 15, but she didn't. Regardless, I still wish my dog would have been alive. You know, I loved her. She was a sweet dog, nice dog, cared about us, loved us so much. I ain't gonna lie, when I first had her, man, I was scared of her. Thought she was gonna bite me, thought she was gonna kill me. But then, years later, I started getting better with her. She started getting more and more nicer to me. She hasn't even been biting me since I've been petting her and stuff. She was a good dog. That's the last dog we're gonna have. We ain't gonna have no more dogs. No more pets. No more pets, man. And especially because our work schedules and stuff, you know. And plus, I think it's time for us to stop looking for pets for real. Don't get me wrong, I love pets just like everybody else does, but I just don't want any more. My mother doesn't want any more either. Well, anyways, guys, just thought I'd throw that out there. Because I know you guys wanted to know, some of you wanted to know the cause of my dog's death. Because I was live. I was actually live, believe it or not, I was actually live with my WWE in the AEW Saturday Night News live stream, and that's when I was seemingly told. Even on my WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage review, I was told that the dog died. She died on October 1st. Again, cause of death was stroke. You never, I never want to see a dog struggle with stroke, man. And she was, when I came in the kitchen after I ended the SmackDown Rampage review, I came in the kitchen and she was laying right there on the pee pad, just laying right there dead. It about made me want to cry, man. It was upsetting. It was sad. Very, very sad and emotional. It was a very, very sad and emotional day for not only me, but for my mom as well, especially for my mom. I'll never forget the day. That day's probably going to stick with me for the rest of my life, as well as my dad's death back in March, which I still am grieving from that. That's never going to go away, you know. And it's all, and then on top of that, my uncle passed away a few months ago, you know, my mom's brother. It's just, there's so much stuff happening in the world, man. And just, you got to take it with a grain of salt, and you got to make sure you always tell your mother and your father and whoever you have in your family that you love them. Always tell them that you love them, because you never know what will happen to them in the coming years. You never know. Some people don't even know their parents, don't even know that their parents are alive. That's the crazy part about it. Some people and some of their biological children and biological parents, some children, some teenagers, some adults don't even know and realize that their parents are alive. Don't even know it. You know, so it's always important to love your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, and whoever's in your family. Because they say family comes first. That's what they say. And I absolutely agree with that. At first, I didn't agree with it, you know, when I was a teenager. But growing up, I started agreeing more and more with it, with what people were saying. But anyways, this jury ruling against WWE and Randy Orton, it doesn't look good at all, you know. WWE and A&E are working on a Randy Orton documentary as well. And Orton last appeared, I don't know if you guys know, Orton last appeared on WWE TV during the May 20th, 2022 episode of SmackDown. Orton and Matt Riddle lost the Raw Tag Team Championships to the Usos that night. Even JD stated this on his podcast as well. So, I guess we'll have to see how this ruling changes video games in the future, especially titles that depict real-life people with actual ink. So what is y'all's take on this story? Let me know. Let me know, please. I really appreciate it. Now, moving on to the last WWE mid-Sunday night news that we have before we get to the AEW Sunday night news. Now, this to me is a topic of discussion, but it's not really no discussion. It's just I am going to have some things to say about this news. So apparently, the WWE higher-ups are currently happy with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae's returns. I wish the job I work at, I wish the higher-ups were happy with us and what we are doing at our job. They don't seem, they only care about the money and themselves, apparently. That, unfortunately, which is sad. The higher-ups that, you know, incorporated higher-ups that own KFC and other places, they only care about the money and themselves. And it's very, very sad to say that because it's true. But anyways, apparently the higher-ups in WWE are absolutely currently happy with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae's returns to the company. So, I mean, do you blame them? They are great, professional, and talented. They are awesome at what they do in the ring and outside the ring. Now, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae were the mainstays of NXT for plenty of years. Now, after taking time off to start a family, the two are back in WWE on the Raw brand, and they are making an impression behind the scenes. Oh, really? That sounds great. Now, it says here, according to Sean Ross Sapp behind Fightful's paywall, man, seems like it goes from PW Insider to Sean Ross Sapp. All these sources, I tell you, man, it's crazy. But according to Sean Ross Sapp behind Fightful's paywall, Gargano and LeRae are in the good graces of WWE management, currently based on their professionalism with leaving the company the first time around to help get over Austin Theory, Andy Hartwell, and Dexter Lumis. He is currently in that storyline with The Miz. I don't know, and that storyline is getting absolutely boring. I ain't gonna lie to you. But Dexter Lumis seems to be doing good in that storyline. Miz, nah, not so much. They were talking to the major companies when planning their returns, but not considering. I don't even want to say it, man. I don't even want to say it, man. It's enough that JD says it to where I laugh because it's hilarious because it's true. I mean, why would they want to go to that promotion, man? I mean, when they only got 4 people watching. Oh my goodness, man. They're considering Impact. Impact? You serious? Impact? Nobody gives a darn about Impact. Come on, man. Are you serious? People rather listen to a Christmas Jingle Bells song than care about Impact. I mean, come on. Come on, man. People rather see Frosty the Snowman than watch Impact. Oh, man. That's just like people in the community saying, I'd rather play WWE 2K20 than watch Impact. I mean, come on. Give me a break. Nobody gives a shit about Impact, man. Get out. Get Impact off of my TV. Get it out. Get that wrestling promotion off of XTV. Nobody cares. They might as well shut the Impact Zone down. They might as well shut Impact Wrestling Building down, man. Nobody's watching that shit. That shit is garbage. That ish is garbage. Nobody's watching that. And I don't mean to say it in a negative way. I'm saying it in a positive way, and I'm saying it in an honest, respectful way. It is absolutely terrible. Impact Wrestling is horrible to watch. If you are watching Impact, I feel sorry for you. If you are watching Impact, you got to be the biggest freaking idiot in that community right now. Legitimately. You got to be the biggest prick on planet Earth to be watching that. Impact was great when Samoa Joe was there. Impact was great when Jeff Hardy was there. Impact was great when Bobby Lashley was there. Impact was great when Hulk Hogan was there. Impact was great when Kurt Angle was there. Impact was great when Sting was there. Now look what happened. They all left Impact. Now Impact is in nothing but shambles. And then they want to try to promote their wrestling promotion on Axe TV. Unless if anybody's watching. Nope, nobody's watching. Nobody's watching that. Nah. People would rather watch the indie shows than watch Impact. Legitimately. People would rather watch New Japan Pro Wrestling than Impact. Impact is at the bottom of the barrel. I would be surprised if Impact ends up sitting at number freaking 11 in cable eventually. Their promotion is absolutely god awful. I don't want to ever see Impact Wrestling mentioned in a Ringside News article ever again. I don't care. Seriously. They are garbage. Triple H. Speaking of Triple H, they were talking to the major companies. Listen up, folks. We're getting back to it now. So, they were talking to the major companies when planning their returns, but not considering Impact Wrestling at all. Triple H taking over creative was a tipping point in their decision to come back to WWE. Good. Well, nobody want to wrestle on no Impact Wrestling. You serious? You don't know how many talents they got over on Impact? Oh, not much at all. I bet you almost every single Impact female male wrestler left that company because of the lack of less audience and probably the lack of terrible creative in that promotion. More than likely. That's got to be the reasons, man. If that's not the reasons, then I don't know what other reason we have here. I mean, come on. What other reasons to come up with besides all that? So, this is what Sean Ross Sapp said, folks. He says here, and I quote, one WWE source said that Gargano remained on most in WWE's good side all the way through his contract expiring, not signing a new deal, and even free agency. We're told that he made it clear to WWE that he would return on his time frame. And they were happy to follow that. I'm still thinking about that word impact. I can see why JD laughs when he mentions impact. It's funny, man. It's funny. It's one of the worst wrestling promotions in all of professional wrestling. Legitimately, period. Physically, not emotionally. But anyways, as I was reading, Sean Rossap said, and I quote, guys, one WWE source said that Johnny Gargano remained in WWE's good side all the way through his contract expiring, not signing a new deal, and even free agency. They were told that he made it clear to WWE that he would return on his time frame, and they were happy to follow that. I'm sure they would. I'm sure they were happy. Shoot. I know I'd be happy too. I mean, do you blame them? Anyways, we're happy with all that. Several NXT sources said that I didn't know NXT had sources. They said that Gargano handled his exit from the company with incredible professionalism, mentioning that he went out of this way to work with and get over young talent like Austin Theory and Indy Hartwell. Well, that's what I figured when he was in NXT. He was there to get over talent, just like Ben Balor. He was there to get over talent, just like Ember Moon. She was there to get over talent. Just like Mandy Rose. She was there to get over talent. Why do you think JC Jane and Gigi Dolan are the stars of NXT? Why do you think they've gotten better? All because of Mandy Rose. Why do you think Dolph Ziggler was there? To get over talent. It's simple. Why do you think Apollo Crews is there? Obviously, I know why they went to NXT. Obviously, I know why they were sent. Vince McMahon and Bruce sent them on to NXT, which I thought was a terrible decision, but they got over talent. They're building up they're helping the young talent get ready for the main roster. I mean, I understand that. That's understandable. But I'd rather have Triple H send them over to NXT than Vince and Bruce. I mean, come on. Really. Now, while helping to establish Dexter Lumis, it was well known within NXT that Gargano took pride in this, especially since he knew that he would be taking time off in December, as far as a year ahead of his deal expiring. We're told, this is what Sean Ross Sapp said, we're told that Gargano and Candice LeRae were talking to the major companies in the month prior to Johnny rejoining WWE, though we weren't given much outside of the Impact Wrestling. Didn't seem to be a serious consideration. And then Sean Ross Sapp went on to say that when Vince McMahon lost power, several within the company had indicated to Fightful that they felt way more confident that Gargano would be heading back to WWE. They believed that Triple H being in power was a tipping point that accelerated the move. Several times, even before Triple H took power, there was interest in bringing Gargano to the main roster. End quote. So that is what all Sean Ross Sapp said. Johnny Gargano is currently involved in a feud with the Alpha Academy and Austin Theory with Kevin Owens, while Candice LeRae just returned last week to Raw. They went over Nikki. What's her name, Jimmy? What is her name? I know what her name is. Nikki Trash. Nikki Trash. That's her name. So we'll have to see what happens next. What do you guys think of all this? I think it was the right decision, the right move in the right direction, calling Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae up to the main roster. And on top of that, bringing them back. I mean, they weren't called up, but they were brought back. That's what I was trying to say. But I think legitimately it was the right decision to bring them back. I really do. They are going to enhance that Raw men's and women's division going forward. I really do think they are. So, and I think I could see Candice LeRae becoming the next Raw Women's Champion in the future, and I could see Johnny Gargano becoming the next WWE Champion in the future as well, eventually. So, that's going to do it for that. We're going to move on to the AEW Mid-Sunday Night news. So, there's some AEW Sunday Midnight news on Andrade IDOLO. Yes, guys. There's some news on him. So apparently, whatever happened, apparently Andrade teases a release from the company. That is legitimately what I mean by Andrade hinting at a release from the company. So let me give me a little bit of time to find it. There it is. Okay, so Andrade apparently he teases at leaving AEW, teasing his release from the company. So Andrade El Idolo is one of the most promising superstars in AEW, the greatest performers in WWE and AEW, greatest performers in professional wrestling. Now, Only Wrestling signed him last year, and he appeared at the AEW Double or Nothing show. El Idolo also hinted that he may be leaving the company. He should. I mean, AEW has him put right in Titus Catering. They haven't even been using him. He hasn't even been used on TV for over 3-4 weeks. Nonetheless, FTR hasn't even been on TV for over a month. What do you guys think is going on here? Brian Cage hasn't been on TV for the last, I'd say, 5-6 months. Lance Archer hasn't even been used on TV. Scorpio Sky hasn't been used on TV. What's going on with all this talent? Where are they? Where are they, man? I don't understand. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand what the heck is going on here. I don't know what happened to Serpentico's girlfriend, Skylar. I don't know what happened to her. I haven't seen her on TV either. Remember when Serpentico's girlfriend used to be in AEW? Yeah. I wonder what happened to her. Did they release her from the company? Probably. Probably a year ago and I didn't know it. All this talent that's not getting TV time, that's not good, man. It's not good to see talents like Scorpio Sky, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ethan Page, and what's his name? Not Christian Cage, but Miru. It's not good to see them all not getting TV time. That's not cool. That is not good at all. And I can see why Andrade wants to leave AEW. He's not getting used right. He's getting wasted. He's getting kept in Titus Catering. As if Tony Khan has completely forgot about Andrade, which I think he has at this point. But Andrade El Idolo appears to want fans to know that he might part ways with the company after this coming Friday night. Andrade tweeted a message from Joe's, the assistant, earlier today. He thanked Mutual Andrade for everything. He says here, and I quote, "You are one of the best in-ring competitors. I learned a great amount working alongside you. You brought me to AEW, and I stand by your side in whatever choice you make next. Thank you for everything. Manuel Andrade." End quote. So according to AEW's announcement at last night's Rampage, Preston 10, Vince's mask will be Andrade El Idolo's opponent. The pair connected after a face-to-face encounter in a backstage scene. Andrade responded to a fan on Twitter who indicated that they might take him off TV for a few months due to this work, similar to what they did with MJF. Oh boy. Oh boy, they're starting to do him like MJF again. Uh-oh. This is not sounding good, folks. Andrade responded. So he said, "I am Andrade El Idolo, not that little boy." That's what he said. And then another spectator expressed their desire for Team 10 to trumpet. Although it appears that Andrade is winning, it is important to note that AEW indicated that Vince should defeat Andrade because this coming Friday's Rampage marks the 2-year anniversary of Brody Lee's final match. So, what do you guys think of Andrade El Idolo's AEW run so far? I think it has not been all that good. Like I said, he hasn't been on TV for the last 3-4 weeks, and it's not looking good, man. It's really not. Seems like they're more high on Rush than they are on Andrade. I'm noticing that too. Am I the only one here in the live chat that's noticing that? Rush is getting pushed more than Andrade in AEW. That's odd. Sounds to me like a red flag. Definitely sounds like a red flag, man. And then Fuego del Sol, he's getting used. He's getting more used than Andrade on TV. You know? something's not right. The factory's getting more used on TV than Andrade. Some of these talents from Elevation are getting more used on TV than Andrade. Something's not right. That ain't right, man. And now they're talking about bringing guys in like Juice Robinson and Bandito. Bandito actually looks like the version of Rush, believe it or not. Looks like Rush's other brother. That's what it looks like. That's what he legitimately looks like. He might be Rush's other brother. Rush might have two brothers. Dragon Lee is his actual brother, and Bandito might be his other brother. I don't know. Has the same hair, the same attire, and everything. Well, not same attire, but the same hair. He has the same looks as Rush. But wouldn't be surprised if we get Bandito versus Rush. Wouldn't be surprised. That's just like me saying I wouldn't be surprised if we get Juice Robinson versus Bandito. Given that they're both bringing Bandito and Rush in, AEW is they're trying to sign Bandito and Juice Robinson. And speaking of Juice Robinson, there's some news on AEW having a huge major interest in signing Juice Robinson. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, that's going to be the last news. But first, we're going to go over the news on AEW referee Bryson. Well, I call him Bryson, but it's really Bryce. There's news on AEW referee Bryce. You guys know who that is. I know who that is too. Yeah, the referee, Bryce REMSBURG, he hasn't really been doing his job well as referee lately. I'm starting to notice that on Dark and Elevation. He's been acting a little funny. He's been more aggressive with the talent in the ring as referee. Aubrey Edwards is not like that. So, AEW referee Bryce REMSBURG was apparently called out for killing matches. So AEW fans have a lot of criticisms for the company, and the referee staff is not immune to that. Although Aubrey Edwards seems to be a favorite target. A different official is taking shade this time around. Wow. Looks like Mr. Bryce here has been called out not one time, but two times. So this must be his second time in a row getting called out. 3 strikes and he's out. It's not looking good for Bryce, man. Brian Hebner has refereed in a lot of matches. His experience makes him a great referee in the business. Yeah, he's not bad. I've seen him referee on TV. He's not bad. I've seen him on Dark and Elevation. He ain't too bad. He has years of experience and wanted to share some of his advice to referee Bryce REMSBURG on his briefing it up with Brian Hebner. Hebner said that basically he laughs at times while watching Bryce call the match down the middle. He called REMSBURG a good guy, but the professional approach was missing on some occasions. Brian said that Bryce holds his face when someone gets slapped in the face, or he tries to check his back when someone gets hit in the back. But all of that seems too much to handle. Now, according to Hebner, it's understandable that referees can have emotions based on what transpires in the ring. But if it happens on every occasion, then that becomes tiring to watch. So this is what he said. He said, and I quote, I have to call the elephant in the room. I have met this guy several times. He's a very nice guy. It has nothing to do with him as an individual or human being. Bryce REMSBURG. And once again, a very, very nice guy. It's time for someone to let this guy know he is killing matches and taking away the power and taking away the show and taking away the story, because it's not about him. He's over it with too many things. Sometimes I see some things that make me just sit here and realize, because it actually is funny, because that's how outlandish it's become, and nobody's even seeing it. It seems like that works for the company. And then he went on to say, I think the guy's a good referee. He's not when he does all these things. So if somebody gets slapped, he's grabbing his face. If somebody gets in the back, he's holding his back. He's jumping up and down. He's just over the top. I understand being involved in caring about what's going on in the ring and showing natural. And when I say natural, I'll explain that if you like. The natural expressions. I've never once watched an MMA match and watched the guy and the referee sell everybody that gets knocked out. They don't do anything. They do their freaking jobs. He actually cussed and said effing job. That's why I didn't want to say a cuss word, obviously, because I had already said it earlier. And that's what we need to do. And then he goes on to say, it's okay if it's a spot where you're supposed to show emotion or you're supposed to show something, but not every time someone does something. Like I say, the guy's a good referee if you take that out. Yeah, I love his count. I love his cadence. I like how he tries to stick the rules. But this has got to stop. He's taking away from talent, and I think that's unfair, end quote. I absolutely agree. I also think he's taking it away from talent, man. I don't think that's right. Hebner praised BRYCE for his cadence and the ability to stick to the rules. Now, it does not mean that he is doing things right, but somewhere or in something, he is going the wrong way, legitimately. Do you guys agree with Hebner's comments about AEW referee Bryce REMSBURG? Sound off in the live chats, please. I know I do. I don't know about you all. I know I do. All right. So the last news we have is on AEW having a huge, major interest in signing Juice Robinson. This news has been brewing around for a while now. So, it says here that AEW has significantly grown in the past year alone, with an ever-expanding roster of former WWE stars. We have also seen wrestlers from other promotions do well in AEW. It turns out Tony Khan has an interest in yet another free agent. Jesus Christ, for freaking sakes, man. With the bloated roster you got, and you're still signing more talent? Give me a break, man. According to PW Insider, Juice Robinson's match against Jon Moxley this past Wednesday has pretty much left a huge impression on AEW officials. Now, the company's trying to make him participate as often as possible. And there's even an idea of making him a regular. I wonder why they would do that. So, this is what PW Insider said, folks. They said here, and I quote, PW Insider is also told that after his match against Jon Moxley this past Wednesday in Philadelphia as well, there is massive interest in bringing in Juice Robinson as often as possible and making him a regular for the company. End quote. Juice Robinson signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling after leaving WWE in 2015. Robinson competed in New Japan Pro Wrestling's annual G1 tournament, in addition to winning the tag team and the United States titles. Now he is no longer working for New Japan. Robinson made his AEW debut on Dynamite last Wednesday against longtime rival Jon Moxley. The two squared off in a world title eliminator match. Robinson lost the match after Moxley made him tap out to a cross arm breaker. Robinson told SL earlier this week that he has no unfinished business with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now that he is free, he wants to fight whoever, wherever, and whenever, as long as he's got the right opponent. It will be really interesting to see him become regular at AEW. But again, AEW has too many male and female talents. They have a stacked beloaded roster. How is Tony Khan going to continue to contain this roster full of talent? And it sounds to me like he needs a creative team, and he needs a writer and a producer as well. So he won't have to do this by himself anymore. Because I think doing this writing and producing and booking matches, him doing all this stuff by himself, I think this is overwhelming him. He needs an AEW creative team. He needs an AEW writer, producer, and he needs an AEW executive director, man. Because this is not, no. This ain't good. He cannot continue to do all this stuff by himself any longer. He's going to need some help eventually. So, what are y'all's thoughts on this story? Let me know. Well, this is the end of your WWE and AEW Saturday Midnight News live stream. If you guys enjoyed me giving you the news, if you guys enjoyed hearing the WWE and AEW news coming into Sunday, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoyed your time here with me in a live chat, and if you enjoyed hearing these major stories and hearing the news on them possibly signing Juice Robinson, news like higher-ups being happy with Johnny Gargano canceled Ray. If you guys enjoyed hearing news like that, man, please let me know in the live chats. And like I said, if you guys are new and want to see more reviews, watch alongs, and more AEW news live streams like this, subscribe, have on those notifications so you don't miss any of that. And so you don't also miss a single review and a single watch along that goes live each and every single week here on the IWN YouTube channel. I got plenty of content still on the channel. If you guys haven't checked out my AEW Saturday Night News live stream, we went over the news on Dupree leaving his own faction, him going back to his LA Knight NXT character gimmick. We went over the news on Seth Rollins speaking with Ariel Helwani about the Bray Wyatt stuff, about that fan that attacked him last year. We went over the news on Shawn Michaels opening up about NXT and their growth, AEW adding a huge women's tag team match and more to AEW Dynamite this Wednesday night, all that stuff. You guys missed that live stream, please, please go check it out and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you guys missed my WWE SmackDown and Rampage review, go check that out. Get that a thumbs up. If you missed my Dynamite review from last week, go check that out and get that a thumbs up as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the WWE AEW Saturday News live stream. Most importantly, I hope you got to hear what you wanted to hear. I hope you enjoyed your time here with me. And hopefully, you guys will be here this Monday afternoon for my WWE AEW Monday afternoon news live stream. Hopefully. Yes, I'm going to be live with a WWE AEW Monday news live stream. Usually, I call it the WWE AEW Monday afternoon news live stream. That's what I call it. I'll be live with that this afternoon before work, and my AEW Dark Elevation watch along will be live this Tuesday afternoon. It's already scheduled. You guys, all you have to do is go over there, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You can comment whatever you want in the chat, long as it's positive and not negative. So, the matches that are booked for Elevation tonight are Sky Blue versus Trish Adora, Lance Archer versus Cheeseburger. I don't know who the hell Cheeseburger is. That sounds like a cringy ring name. And let's be honest, it is. Abandon versus Abby Jane. Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions Dalton Castle and the Boys versus Primal Fear. Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian versus Gia Scott and LSG. Brian Cage with Prince Nana versus Tracy Williams. Lucha Bros versus Dante Martin and Tony Deepin. Who is Tony Deepin? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out this Tuesday afternoon when I watch it. Got Rocky Romero, Dan Haljan and Best Friends versus the Factory's QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, Anthony Ogogo, and Nick Camarado. Those are the matches slated for tonight's Elevation. This week's episode Elevation is episode 83. Hopefully it'll be a good one, which I think it is going to be really good. So hopefully you all are here for that, as well as my Dark watch along. That'll be live as well. I'm actually going to schedule my AW Dark watch along, and I'm actually going to do my AW Dark YouTube thumbnail and background for that watch along. Also, this week's episode of AEW Dark is episode 162 or 163. 163. So this is what I'm scheduling this week. This is what all I'm scheduling this week. This is what all I'm going live with this week. So I'm going to be live with your WWE AEW Monday Night News this afternoon, and then Tuesday afternoon I'll be live with my AEW Dark Elevation watch along, and then Wednesday afternoon I'll be live with your AEW Dark watch along, and then Wednesday night I'll be live. I'll be live with the Dynamite watch along, and then I'll be live with the Dynamite review, and then Thursday I'll be live with your AEW Thursday afternoon news. Then I'll be live for the AEW Friday afternoon news, and then I'm probably going to stream that new game that I promised you guys that I was going to stream. We're still going to stream it. We still are. I may not this Friday. I don't know. We'll see. I do need to start streaming some games here on the channel, because that's also how I get views, audience, and more people, and more subscribers. And then it's Friday night. It's going to be a huge night, folks. Listen up. This is a very, very, very important night. This is very important, and everybody needs to know this. Everybody does. I'm actually going to mention this on my WWE AEW Thursday afternoon news live stream as well. I will be live. I will, in fact, indeed, be live for Friday Night SmackDown, Rampage, and AEW Battle of the Belts. It's going to be a big night. It's going to be a long, long live stream. So I expect every single one of my subscribers to be in the chat for my Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Rampage, and AEW Battle of the Belts watch along. It's going to be they're all going to be combined into one. So it's probably going to be an 8 or 9 hour watch along. So I want the biggest audience I can have this Friday night. Do you guys understand me? I am serious. I am serious about this. I legitimately want the biggest, best audience in the live chat. The best audience that I have gotten since my AEW All Out watch along. That's the type of audience I want for my SmackDown, Rampage, and AEW Battle of the Belts watch along, which will be this Friday night. This Friday night is going to be huge. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. I'm going to make you guys laugh. It's going to be a hell of a fucking night, man. I cannot wait for Friday to get here, man. It is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And it's great because now I get to watch Dynamite and Rampage on Bench Report's website every single week. And I'm happy about that. And you guys should be too. Because now you'll start seeing me live with more Dynamite and Rampage watch-alongs and reviews more often. And it's great. And you should be saying, great, we're glad. You love to see it. I love to see it, man. You love to see it, for real. Big week full of wrestling content, folks. I'm getting out of here. I will see you guys in the live chat for your WWE AEW Monday Night News. Here on IWN. Peace. And most importantly, you know the most important thing I always say. Most importantly, folks, stay safe always. See you guys in the live chat for your Monday AEW news. See you guys later. See you guys this afternoon. Peace. Stay safe and always take care of your family. And most importantly, take care of yourself. Stay safe always.